Hello everyone, I'm Chris Mazzillo, Spaghetti-son, and this is a review of Final Fantasy XV episode Ignis. So Final Fantasy XV came out late in 2017, and it rapidly became one of my favourite games of that year. Since then, a whole host of DLC have been released, and, well, why not take a look at some of them? Oh no. Noctis, what happened to you?
You've improved.
So, episode Ignis.
That's it! I've come up with a new recipe.
I kid. Although, cooking with Ignis would definitely be a game I would both buy and play. Instead, episode Ignis takes place during the events in Altissia, mere moments after Noctis passes out after he goes all Super Saiyan. It just still gets me. Ignis and the rest of the boys become separated in town while they're fighting off the Nif invasion. This leaves Ignis to take on his new role as the British action hero to rival James Bond. Even all of them combined. Ignis is left with nothing but his daggers and perfect vision to fight off the ensuing troops and hopefully try and save his best friend and his king, Noctis. With his elemental daggers, Ignis comes out with a wide variety of combos and functionality as he zips between targets, swapping between wide sweeping ice attacks and one-on-one fearsome fire attacks, occasionally stopping to use his perfect vision to pull off a sweet power move. Oh, and also do that. As Ignis, you'll race around Altissia, liberating regions of the city from Nif control, and in doing so you'll find yourself running around the twisting and turning roads of this water-based city. Or you can take to the rooftops as Bat Ignis with your grapple hook for a more optimal traversal. At the end of the day, the majority of this DLC is just playing as this cool and calm action hero that we never knew we actually needed in our lives, just going from district to district, liberating each one from Nif control with new recipe after new recipe. So long as those recipes involve daggers to the face or a gruesome spear takedown. There is some cooking involved every now and then though.
Immaculate.
So, sprawling city of gameplay aside, what is there actually happening in episode Ignis? Well, as I've stated previously, it's Ignis trying to save his king, his friend, his brother. One man against near impossible odds, going to extreme lengths, all to save the one man his entire life has been built around. There's this wonderful bolt of emotion that strikes through this DLC that comes from just watching the complete character change of Ignis, the dad of the group, as he becomes haggard, battered and bruised. Ignis is driven to his wits' end as he finds himself having to make unlikely and entirely unwanted allies in this battlefield. I mean, Ravis kind of sticking true to form almost basically immediately ruins this DLC by, well, immediately introducing a forced stealth segment that just doesn't really fit in anywhere with the mayhem that Ignis was dealing out earlier.
This is it!
But wait, episode Ignis might sound a little wonky at the moment, with little to really actually talk about or write about or heck, care about. I know I'm sure struggling. I mean, I think all I've mentioned so far is that the DLC is Eric Control the video game, but now with a British Batman. Not that one. The saving grace of this is the story and the dramatic and emotional conclusion. If you've watched the trailer for the episode already, you have a good idea as to what may or may not be in stock for you. But out of all the DLC episodes, episode Ignis probably has the best conclusion. And that's in terms of like raw emotion, pure spectacle, and writing that revolves around the characters. It had me on the edge of my seat consistently throughout, and in some aspects almost changed how I entirely view the ending of the main game and how that entire last third functions. To see a man pushed to such extreme limits to protect not only his king, the man he was sworn to aid and assist from a young age, but also his friend and brother, and how this led him to have his own crisis of confidence. It's just so emotional to witness. Ignis comes out so strongly in this DLC that it's completely changed how I view the boys. As I'll now explain with this best boy bar. But as we can see, currently the best boy of Final Fantasy 15, just the core game itself, is Prompto. He's a lovable scamp that everyone kind of knows and loves, and he's got that secret little bit of emotion to him that just warms you like he's a childhood sweetheart. Up behind that, we've got Noctis and Ignis. They're more or less on a level pegging, both with their own certain charms and quirks, and hey, they all go through a hard time, so what's not to love about them, if you know what I mean? And down at the bottom, well, we've got Gladiolus, he's not exactly a best boy, he's not even a boy. But if we insert all the DLC episodes into the best boy matrix, then we get results such as this one. As you can now see, coming out at the bottom, you've still got Gladiolus. To be honest, the less said about him, the better. Noctis is still kind of maintaining that decent level of, hey, he's that child king you just know and love. Meanwhile, in a shock that might shock you, it's Ignis and Prompto, more or less level pegging. Who would have thought for the role of best boy? I would have never seen it coming, but as you can see, just that sheer pure emotion of Ignis's struggles to save his king and the lengths he'll go to. What's not to love about that? What would you do for your family member and or friends? Probably not go blind. Back to you, Chris, in the studio. Yes, thank you, Chris. If anything, this just shows how great episode Ignis is, at least in the ending. It got the same rise out of me as parts of actual Final Fantasy 15 did, especially in the conclusion. And I mean, that was an emotional roller coaster that I still think about to this day.
In the end, I might not have you at my side, but I'll always have you in my heart.
At the end of the day, episode Ignis can seem a little messy. Each individual segment is cool and fun and works well, but together they don't fully meld or mesh together. The combat is fun, but the area claiming aspect just feels more like something to do than kind of conducive to the actual plot. Because when you think about it, Ignis probably has something more pressing to do than run around and reclaim Alticia. I don't know, maybe like stop his king from being murdered? Maybe? There are random boats and stealth segments that disappeared just as quickly as they appeared, and you're kind of more confused by their arrival than what they're trying to achieve with them. And also, I mean, the entire episode tries to make me feel something positive about Ravis or Ravis, and that's just a heinous crime because fuck that guy.
I've no quarrel with you, boy.
That said though, episode Ignis does the resident chef a whole world of justice and makes him a wonderful character and gives him his own little bit of backstory, making it one of the better DLC episodes that came out for Final Fantasy 15. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. If you want, leave a comment saying your own thoughts about episode Ignis in the comment section below, maybe even like and or subscribe. Oh man, that would be wild. But what you can also do is there's a link in the description that leads to a written, hand-typed piece that's possibly more in-depth and kind of focused about the game itself, episode Ignis, so feel free to check that out as well. It's something that I wrote, it's probably good. Thank you, and goodbye.
You've improved.